You're here with Stitch and the Stitch Gang. Let's get it cracking before Mom gets home and she beats my butt.
It's time!
What the heck is she screaming for? So annoying.
What just happened? Hi, I'm Bryson, and I'm a homebody. I love to read, build Legos, draw, write, relax indoors, play games, and spend too much time on that damn phone. However, my polar opposite mom has a strong sense of adventure and would often drag her ungrateful children into the wilderness to make memories and have adventures together, which I like to call forced family fun. Trademark. Ugh, I want to go home and watch a movie. Hikes are stupid. What was that, honey? I mean, I love the woods. Let's keep hiking. That's right, dear. I can't complain too much, though. We would use a camper on our family trips, so we weren't truly roughing it. It was definitely nicer than sleeping in a tent on the ground and ruining your back. Looks like they got you doing the easy.
Me and Mom are gonna go camping soon. When we go on our trip to Colorado, we're gonna go camping.
Easy camping, huh, Cupcake? I just got back from a 42-night camping trip in the mountains where I ate nothing but tree bark and slept on a tarp on top of sharp rocks and pine cones. And then I hiked 50 miles every day. Okay. As a mandatory camping trip approached, Brody decided that it might be more fun if he invited the girl he had recently started dating.
Hey, want to go out into the wilderness and be trapped in a cramped space with me and my rambunctious family for a week?
And Jen made the insane decision to say yes because I guess she loves my brother. Again, insane.
Is this worth it?
The next night,
He's scratching his butt. I don't think it was worth it, but, I mean, on the bright side, going camping is pretty cool. You just have to go with the right people.
we're playing a board game.
Stop! I needed that one!
You snooze, you lose. That's how the game goes.
Wait, is that the last brownie? You had 2 and I only had 1! Let me have it! That's it!
Then Brenner looked for a blunt object to attempt to bludgeon me with, as brothers often do. He grabbed Jen's ukulele and held it like a hammer, threatening to hit me. Imagine this. You're stranded in the wilderness with a family of tweakers and no cell service. And your boyfriend's dumb little brother is about to ruin one of your prized possessions. In that moment, Jen's sanity had finally had enough, and her soft-spoken, polite nature vanished.
Brother, no! Put that down, no!
That's when we knew she could handle anything Brody could throw at her. But could we handle everything this trip would throw at us? Mom dragged us out of bed to go on a freezing river hike. So we rented these special skin-tight wetsuits that would conserve our body heat while hiking through the river. I hated hikes, but there was no getting out of a forced family fun adventure. So I decided to make the most of it as we were hiking down. I discovered that the suit could hold air if I breathed into it, and I devised a plan to make it back down the river.
Now that's smart thinking. Working harder? Not working harder. Working smarter, not harder.
Smarter, not harder. Speaking of river adventures, years before on another family trip, we were playing in a river and found a section of smooth stone with water running over it that you could go down just like a water slide. My brothers went and made it look so fun. Then it was my turn. As I started to slide, I got cold feet and tried to bail. I desperately grabbed at a rock, but the current was too strong. I couldn't pull myself up. The rushing water blasted at me until...
Oh my God!
At least everyone else had fun, because they were mocking me, like a loving family does. Fast forward years later, and we were enjoying a trip by the lake. Since we were discouraged from using our damn phones, Dad brought the next best thing, an RC boat. My brothers took turns racing it around, bumping it into each other, and making...
Now those are pretty cool. That's what I'm gonna put on my Christmas list this year. An RC boat. I'm gonna tell Mom I want an RC boat. I want it now.
making it go full speed into a wave, causing it to tumble across the water. You know, proper boat etiquette. I could just tell that my brothers were going to break the boat with how crazily they were driving it. I, however, was going to drive it carefully and responsibly like the well-adjusted young man I was. I was not going to engage in such juvenile, uncouth behavior. I kept the boat away from the waves and closer to the shore to keep it safe and secure, and despite driving it like a grandma, the propeller hit a rock and shattered. Dad, I'm so sorry. It's okay, son. We can still fix it. I don't feel that bad, though, because most of Dad's RC toys were killed by Dad's own poor judgment. I get at least one freebie. Time to drive this new fancy RC car right in front of all of the family dogs. Well, at least they can't reach the plane. God, got it! We walked out to the beach and set up some shade to just chill out at the lakeside for a while. I needed a place to leash Bo, but it was all just sand. Luckily, I thought ahead and brought a sand anchor. We screwed it into the ground and patted the sand down tight, and leashed the beast to it. Huzzah! Another obstacle conquered by the great Bryson's gift of foresight. We were having fun, swimming, playing spike ball, and flying kites, when suddenly Bo target locked on a family with a dog. Well, good thing he's leashed up. My foresight, however, did not account for this.
This isn't gonna turn out too well.
It's a great name, but your voice doesn't quite match it.
We have a fix.
Voice mod gives you over 150 lag.
He's loose!
Put yourself in that family's shoes. You've just witnessed a 90-pound pit bull break out of its industrial-grade restraints by doing a pop shove it, and is now barreling towards you at full speed. What is your next move? Fortunately, Bo is friendly and just wanted to play, so I didn't have to clean up another massacre. That stunning 360 maneuver has become crystallized in time in our family history. I'm more impressed than anything, honestly. It's the most graceful acrobatic thing he's ever done. One of the few saving graces of being forced to live in a camper for a weekend is camping.
That's a little badass dog. I wonder if Mom heard me. Yeah, badass dog.
Food, especially our traditional first night meal, tinfoil dinners. It's made with basic ingredients, but something about cooking it in the fire scratches that caveman itch in my brain and makes it taste way better than it should. And my other favorite camping food is woofums. You form some biscuit dough over your woofum stick, roast it over the fire, and when you take it off the stick, it has a perfect pocket to fill with scrambled cheesy eggs and bacon. Why are they called woofums? Oh, because you woof them down. Haha, I get it.
Okay, something's wrong with this guy. Look at his eyes. I mean, my eyes are big too, but I also didn't eat my friend.
And we even made Dutch oven pizza once. That was true fine dining in the wilderness. But of course, we also did the classics, like roasting hot dogs by the fire. I had just finished cooking my hot dog to perfection. It had a beautiful, even crispiness all around it. I put it in a bun and went to the table where the condiments were. It was dark, so I grabbed what I thought was the ketchup and covered my hot dog with it. But the texture was off. I brought my hot dog into the firelight to see that it was relish, which I hate. My perfectly cooked hot dog was ruined. My blood boiled. I was overwhelmed with rage, and I let out a scream that every camper within a mile could hear. Fudge! Only I didn't say fudge. I said the word, the big one.
And that's when Mom will pull the cotton out of me for saying something like that.
The F-dash-dash-dash word. To make my night even more f***ing perfect, when we were cooking s'mores later, I had finally gotten my marshmallow to a perfect even golden brown, and Braden whacked his skewer into my marshmallow, causing it to fall in the fire. Then, that night, as I was just about to get into the shower, Braden pushed me aside and jumped in. This was the final straw.
Braden's pretty bad.
Enjoy your shower, Braden. Forever. For our next trip with our extended family, we all rented ATVs so we could tear up the sand dunes. Later in the day, Brody and I wanted to go on another excursion, but the big ATV was being used by my parents. So we asked to borrow our grandparents' ATV and they said yes. And off we went on an adventure. Now, I didn't know this, but this ATV was narrower than the bigger one I was used to. So I went to do a power slide just like I had done before, but since it was narrower, the ATV tipped on its side. As it tipped, Brody reached out, attempting to parry the earth itself and prevent us from tipping. His ego was damaged far more than his arm was.
That was so stupid. You can't break your fall with your arm when an ATV is falling on you.
We tried our best, but we couldn't tip it right side up, and the sun was starting to set. We can't tip it, and it's getting dark, and we're gonna die and get eaten by coyotes.
Coyotes are the least of your worries out on these dunes.
Luckily, another ATV drove by, Brody waved him down, and the guy helped us tip it back up. After that, I had lost my appetite for driving. My need for speed, one might say. So Brody drove us back to the campsite and told everyone what happened. And everyone made fun of me, like a loving family does. For the next trip, we were gonna go on a slot canyon hike. So I once again used my wonderful gift of foresight and bought little boots to keep Bo and Dixie's paws cool on the hot rocks. And to eat up the other fashionless dog. Despite being an old grandma dog, Dixie loved hiking with us. However, it definitely was tiring for her. So much so that when she found a shady spot, she wouldn't even bother with the quadruple spin process to lie down. She would just stop holding herself up and plop down on the ground to start resting as soon as possible.
I'm taking a nap! I'm taking a nap here! Good night!
Whenever we
That sounds like baby Hazel.
would go hiking, Dixie had to be with us. She refused to be left at the campsite. She would run back and forth between the people in the front and the people in the back during the hikes. It was always so sweet how she insisted on being around us, and whenever a camp trip was over and she saw us start packing up, she would plant herself in the cars and refuse to get out. I'm coming whether you like it or not, and also I call shotgun. After that trip, she was exhausted. She literally rested for like 2 weeks. But to her, it was worth it just to be with us. I'll always cherish the time we got to spend with her. Last year, Dixie passed away. I'll love and miss her forever.
Poor Dixie.
Goodbye, Dixie. You were the quintessential family dog. Sweet, protective, and loyal. You'll live on in our hearts forever. Dogs are not with us our whole lives, but they make our lives whole. In conclusion, I'm glad my mom forced us to take adventures. I actually love hiking now. We made so many fun family memories that I'll cherish forever. Except for that time Dixie got sprayed by a skunk. What is that? It breathes! We're all gonna die! Although, when Bo passes away, I might have to go full John Wick mode. I'm taking this! Don't you ever pull a stunt like that again! And I'm taking these as well! I wanna apologize.
Oh, that's the real Dixie. Poor Dixie. Oh man, poor Dixie. That last part was pretty sad. And you guys know that I'm gonna have a dog on the show soon. Haven't came up with a good name for him yet, but he's gonna be here, and I don't want that to happen to him. Well guys, if you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And be sure to share this video with a friend. We're almost at 2,000 subs. Let's get it, guys.
Stitch had fun today, made adventure out of play. Imagination led the way, but now it's time to say, see you next time, friend of mine. Every day's a chance to shine. We laughed and played, made messes too, with goofy dreams that all came true. See you next time, friend of mine. Let's dream up what comes next. What'll we build? Who will we be? What will we see? Pirates, monsters,